Hi everyone, in this video we are going to learn three different method of pandas. First one is melt, second one is pivot, and third one is query. Now let's start with melt. If you have a data like this, where for each of this programming language we have number of views in different months like Jan, Feb, and along with that we have one more column, that is other. Now if I wanted to store this data into a table and we wanted to minimize number of columns, so for that we can have language and other, these two column as it is, and for all of these months we can create a new column called month, where we'll have the value like Jan, Feb, and its corresponding views. So this way we'll have less number of columns. It will be better to store into database. Now let's see the parameter which we need to pass to the melt method. So we have id vars where we can pass all the column names which we don't want it to change. So here I have language and other, which will be unchanged, and all these month value we have to pass it into value vars. And what it will do is there will be two things, right? One is the month value like Jan, Feb, and its corresponding values like 1, 2, 3, all this. So we'll have two more parameter to customize, where for variable name we can pass any name. In this example I have given month, and for value name I have given views. We have this input data for different programming language. We have its view for different month. Let me close this file. So first we are going to read this Excel file using read Excel of pandas. Then let's print this data. I'll use the head method. And I can see we got the input data. That's okay. Now in order to convert this data, we have to use pd.melt, and we can pass this sample data frame. Then we have different parameter. The first is id vars. So id vars, we need to mention all the column names which we don't want it to change. Example language and other. So I'll mention these two values here. Language and other. Second parameter is value vars. Now value vars, we have to mention all the column names. Here we have Jan, Feb, all these column names we have to mention. Let me copy all these names, and I will create call paste here. This call list we can pass here. Now two more parameter we can pass, that is var name. This variable name will keep it as month, and value name. So value name will be views. and this new data frame, keep it as new data frame. Let's print this new data frame. And you can see there are 4 different columns are there, the language and others, which are as it is, and for all these months it will be in one particular column and its corresponding values. Say for Python and January we have one view, Python January one view. Pivot is just opposite of melt. So if you have the input data in this format where we have language, other, month and view, all these 4 columns are there, and for month column we wanted to create separate column for each of this month. So we have these 3 different parameter. The first parameter is index, where we need to mention the value of those columns which you don't want it to change. Example, language and other. Then columns, like for month column we wanted to create separate column for each of different value, so that we can pass here. And for values, views column will pass to the values, so its value will be populated over there. Now let's see the example. We have this input data, so let's read this file, and first we are going to print some sample record, sample.tf.head. Save this code. Let's execute this. Now in order to pivot this data, you have to use pivot, and here we have index, where 2 columns, these 2 columns we can keep into index, and switch another. Next is columns, and for columns we need to pass this month column. And finally values with views, the last column. Save this code. And you can see it has converted this data into this one, where we have for different month we have its corresponding values. Now in case, let's say it's last record, I'm just going to repeat it, copy, paste it over here, save this file, and we'll re-execute this code. We are getting the error like index content duplicate entries. So these 2 values, for same index there are 2 values, that's why we are getting this error. Now in order to resolve this issue, what we have to do is, let's create one new data frame, and pd dot pivot table, and here we can pass this sample data frame. Rest all these parameter will be same. However, along with this we have to pass aggregate function, that will be, we just wanted to combine the value if index value is same. So I will use numpy sum, and over here I will import numpy. So numpy as np. Save this code. Let's print this data. Now let's re-execute this code, and this time this duplicate issue is not there. We got the output. So this is the last part of this video where we are going to discuss about query method. And if you're familiar with SQL queries and you wanted to use it in pandas to filter out some data, we can use pipe for or condition and ampersand for and condition. So we have different conditions for filter over here. In the first part, we are going to filter out all the record where language is Python. In second example, we are going to take all the records where language is Python or language is Java. And in the last part, we are going to take only those records where language is Python and month is January. So let's execute all these record one by one. And you can see we got all the record where language is Python. Now let me comment this one and uncomment second part. Let's re-execute this code, and this time we got Python and Java. Let's comment this one. And let's execute the last part, where you can see we got only those record where language is Python and month is January. There is only one such record. So thanks for watching.